Good afternoon, new LaRoche Redhawks. Welcome to LaRoche University. My name is Ashley Testa. I'm the Director of Housing and Residence Life here at LaRoche University. This afternoon, my colleagues and I are going to talk with you a little bit about what we do here on campus and how we can best support you as you make your transition onto our campus and into our residence halls. And I'll let my fellow members of the Office of Housing and Residence Life introduce themselves.
Hello, incoming LaRoche students. We're looking forward to having you here on campus. My name is Scott Miller. I'm our Assistant Director of Housing and Residence Life for Training and Development. The two biggest roles that I have are that I hire, train, and supervise our resident assistants or RAs, and then I'm also our primary student conduct officer. So I'll be sharing with you all in a little while some information about our student staff on campus, as well as our policies and our student conduct process.
Hello, class of 2024. My name is LJ Morgan. I'm the Assistant Director for Housing Operations here at LaRoche University. I'm primarily responsible for the housing operations or anything related to housing here at LaRoche. We're excited to welcome you to the LaRoche family, and now I'll turn it back over to Ashley to talk a little bit more about our office.
Thank you, LJ. As mentioned, we are going to talk to you a little bit this afternoon about our office and who makes up our office, as well as some important information regarding COVID-19 and how that's impacting us and our department this semester. So our office is located in Bold Hall, room 264. That's in Bold 2 of the Bold Hall building. Our traditional office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. However, we will be talking more throughout this presentation about some non-traditional things that we are doing this semester in light of COVID-19 related to our availability and office hours. So please stay tuned for that information. We also have staff on our campus who are available to you 24/7, including professional staff like myself, as well as resident assistants, who we will be talking more about later on in this presentation. Our office handles any housing related questions or needs that you might have. This includes everything from your student ID card access to your hard key access to get into your room, to facilities related issues such as your toilet overflowing or a light bulb being out in your room. We're able to help you to resolve some of those issues and concerns. We're also available to answer any questions that you might have about your campus dining and meal plan. We can talk to you about the food or different options related to your meal plans. We also help to enforce the student code of conduct. And we'll be talking more about what that looks like and what that means for you as a student on our campus throughout this presentation. Lastly, we are kind of a one-stop shop for any campus resource needs that you may have. If you have a question about your bill, your tuition bill, your housing and meal charges on your account, we know where to take you to get more information and help you resolve those concerns. If you have questions about a disability accommodation or need connected to the Counseling and Health Services office, we're able to make sure that you get supported and connected to those services. So who are we? As I mentioned before, our office is made up of professional staff as well as student staff members. Myself as the Director of Housing and Residence Life, along with LJ Morgan, who's our Assistant Director for Housing Operations, Scott Miller, who's our Assistant Director for Leadership and Development, as well as two other staff members who don't work day-to-day in our office, but they do live on campus and they serve as a member of our on-call team. They're part of that team of professional staff that is available to you 24/7 if you need us. And that includes Lorenzo Archer, who's our Assistant Director of Public Safety, as well as Nicole Gable, who's our Director of Study Abroad.
So in addition to our professional staff, we also have 19 resident assistants or RAs who are student staff members. They're students just like you who live on campus, and they are here first and foremost to be a resource for you. So if you have questions about anything on campus, if you have an issue in your room, or if you just need someone to talk to, that's what the RAs are for. They're there to listen and to help to the best of their ability, but they're also trained on what resources we have available on campus. So even if they don't have the answers, they can point you in the right direction. RAs also plan events and programs in the residence halls. Typically, these would be things like movie nights, game nights, craft nights, things like that. That might look a little bit different this year in the interest of social distancing, but they'll still be planning things either virtually or outside or in an otherwise safe environment. So if you're looking for things to do or people to connect with, attending RA programs could be a good place to begin getting to know the people who live around you. And then the last major responsibility that RAs have is to enforce our residence hall policies. They're not out to get anyone, they're not looking to get students in trouble, but we have our policies in place specifically to help keep our students safe and to help foster an environment that is conducive to learning. We ask RAs to enforce these policies, not to get students in trouble, but because we feel that violations of these policies could jeopardize the safety of our students or could hinder students' abilities to be successful academically. And again, I'll be talking more about our policies a bit later on in the presentation, but if you have any questions about RAs and what they do, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. Or if you think the RA position is something you might be interested in pursuing, I might also be happy to talk more with you about that process and how to get involved with that.
So as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, in light of COVID-19, many things on our campus are being amended and changed in order to ensure your health and safety. And please rest assured knowing that La Roche is committed to your health and safety, and this is why we are putting into place some of these additional guidelines that I'm going to highlight below. First and foremost, face coverings are now being mandated when you are not in your individual rooms. This means that if you're walking through the hallway of a residence hall, if you're out in the parking lot on campus, or if you're in a hallway of campus center, or even in the dining hall when you're not physically eating food, we are asking that you have a face covering on you at all times. This is to, again, ensure your own health and safety and make sure that we are stopping the spread of COVID-19 to the best of our ability. In addition, this semester, we will not be permitting any outside guests to come into the residence halls. This includes your commuter friends who attend La Roche but don't live on campus, as well as any other friends or family members who don't physically live on our campus. We also want to encourage you to limit who you interact with. We're asking that you please try to keep a group of people between 2 or 3 people who you are closely connected with, who you maintain most of your time with, and try to limit outside people in that group. The reason we're asking for that is not because we want to hinder your social skills or limit your ability to get to know your fellow students, but it truly is to keep you safe and to, again, mitigate the spread of COVID-19 to the best of our ability. In addition, we're asking that you please maintain 6 feet of distance between yourself and others outside of your individual room at all times. That means when you're walking through the hallway, please keep 6 feet of distance between you and the other person that you may be walking in the hallway with. Lastly, personal hygiene is of the utmost importance as a result of COVID-19. And so we are asking that you please wash your hands with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds on a frequent basis. Sometimes singing the alphabet song helps you to maintain that 20 seconds that you need to truly make sure your hands have been cleaned.
As Ashley mentioned, the Office of Housing and Residence Life team will be working on a limited basis. We will be offering drop-in Zoom hours where no appointment will be needed. For the fall 2020 semester, they will be Tuesdays at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Wednesdays 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Links to the drop-in Zoom office hours will be provided to you via the housing portal and your La Roche email. If you would like to meet with one of the 3 staff members face-to-face, you will need to make an appointment. These links will allow you to make that appointment. Please know that the links provided on this slide will be provided to you in the housing portal and on your LaRoche email. The housing portal is your one-stop shop for anything housing related. To access the housing portal, you will need to visit my.laroche.edu/housing portal. The housing portal will provide you important information like your roommate information, housing assignments, and important alerts that the Office of Housing and Residence Life sees fit. You will want to make it a habit to check the housing portal on a more regular and periodic timeline during the semester. If you're viewing this presentation prior to your arrival on campus, please know that your housing assignment and roommate information went live to the housing portal on Monday, July 20th. Please log into that to access that information. Please contact your roommate directly instead of looking them up on social media. You will want to reach out to your roommate directly so you can start to plan your semester and don't overpack.
So if you were to get to campus and run into issues with your roommates, we are here to help. So we can help you if you contact your resident assistant for help. We can help you kind of talk through how to have a conversation with your roommate. The resident assistant can also sit down with you and your roommate to try to provide some advice or guidance to help you have that conversation. You're also welcome to reach out to anybody in our office, any professional staff member. We'd also be happy to help mediate that for you. And you can see specifically LJ's email address on the screen here. One thing we do want to point out is that this year in particular, we feel like that it's of utmost importance that we do help roommates through any issues that they're having, because for safety reasons, we're not going to want to have students switching from room to room. So if there is a conflict in a room, we do really want to make sure that you have the resources and the tools that you need to feel comfortable having those conversations with your roommates to work out some of those conflicts. So the next thing that I'm going to go over is a little bit about our policies and then a little bit about our student conduct process. So a few major policies to know. We are a dry campus, which means that students are not permitted to use or possess alcohol on campus, even if they are of age. Students also are not permitted to use or possess marijuana or any other illegal drug on campus. We have quiet hours every night in which we ask residents to keep their noise level down so that their neighbors can peacefully sleep and study. But even outside of quiet hours, we have 24-hour courtesy hours, which basically just means be courteous at all times. Don't be blasting your Billie Eilish Spotify station so loud that the entire building can hear it, no matter what time of the day it is. We also have certain items that students are not permitted to have in their rooms, including candles and wax warmers, toasters, griddles, and other electric appliances, primarily for fire safety reasons. And a full list of those prohibited items can be found on our website or online on our student handbook, which you'll be able to see the link for on our next slide. The biggest changes with our policies this year in light of COVID-19 are our guest policy and our face coverings policy, which Ashley explained a little bit earlier in the presentation. We also do not tolerate any kind of racism, sexism, homophobia, or other forms of bigotry, nor do we tolerate sexual misconduct or any form of violence. And as far as our actual student conduct process goes and what would happen if a student were to be alleged to violate a policy, it depends on what the violation is. So for some more minor policy violations like noise, for example, you may just get a warning the first time and it shouldn't have to become anything bigger unless it turns into a consistent issue, in which case further action would be taken. But with other policies like alcohol, marijuana, and things like that, RAs would submit a report to me and I'd set up individual meetings with everybody involved just to kind of identify what everybody's involvement was, where responsibility lies, and then I'd go over the sanctions with you. That could include anything ranging from a fine to disciplinary probation to educational interventions with our counseling center, community service, among other things. We always take our policies seriously, but that will be even more true this year in light of COVID-19. because our expectation is that Red Hawks will look out for one another and will not behave in ways that will put themselves or each other in harm's way. And as you can see on the screen, if you're interested in reading more about our policies or about our conduct process, you can find all of that by going to the link that's on the screen for the student handbook.
This concludes our presentation regarding our Office of Housing and Residence Life and the services and resources that we provide to you on campus. We wish you all the best as you venture into your first semester here as a Red Hawk at LaRoche University. And please don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us if you have any questions. We can be reached at reslife2@laroche.edu or via phone at 412-536-1195. Thank you.